Hey there guys, Mason here at Cardinal. Thanks so much for watching this video. I appreciate you guys watching everything that you do. And always remember, let's get it done, out of the way. Subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of stuff. If you like this kind of perspective from a card store, LGS perspective, make sure you subscribe. You'll be catching all the stuff that we carry and put out there in regards to this kind of stuff. And like the video, or dislike it again. Either way, it's all useful metrics, and hopefully you can find something to comment about, or I'll have a question. I'll think about a question I can ask you guys later on, once I get done through this a little bit. But I want to go over some stuff that people are always asking me about, different stuff about stuff in the store and online and through emails and stuff, because of course we have a lot of online buyers and a lot of people around the country that buy from us. So what card conditions mean on the website, because the current scale that us and a lot of card stores around the country use is kind of more tailored to the players as opposed to collectors, because it uses terms like near mint, lightly played, moderately played, heavy played. If you are not familiar with the kind of damage that can happen when you play cards, those terms don't really help you or mean anything. So I can understand how it's confusing, and if you want pictures of stuff that exactly what's wrong with the card at moderate or heavy or something like that. So I made a write-up for our website just so it'll be handy in a written form. But I have a video that I want to put out as well, so we're going to do that real quick and just run through just some conditions. I pulled some cards out of our inventory that we just put up, so nothing like super crazy in this, but it's more to use as examples than it is to any sort of flexing or anything. So just stay with me. I got a good zoom on these cards here. Kind of see how zoomed in we are. Oh man. But yeah, first example obviously is a near mint card. Mint is a term that's used from coins originally, obviously. When you mint coins. Near mint is don't focus so much on the mint as it is the near. Near means that it's not mint, right? There's some issue or something that's wrong with the card that would cause it to be near mint instead of mint, right? And with cards, that's not always the case. It's kind of just like a safety net, where if there is something, a defect or a flaw in a card that is, either pack fresh or, even something that somebody's collected and sleeved up and has had in a binder forever. Things do happen, and, things out of the factory happen. So kind of just goes over and covers all of our bases when we say something's near mint. This Meowth VMAX, a new card, is near mint. Very good quality on this run of cards. A lot of these early are these Sword and Shield promos and ultra rares. Along the bottom here, there is normally like sometimes flaking on that black, and up on top with the V sometimes as well. There's flaking on that, but this card is very good. The press on it was very good. There's no issues on that. You kind of see the surface there. See how the nice shine on that surface, how evenly textured it looks. You can kind of see a little, like maybe some dirt or something on that card. So again, near mint, right? It's almost in perfect shape. You see like some looks like some printer lines or roller lines on the very bottom there, or it could have just been happening, when sliding in and out of the sleeve. If there's dust in the sleeve, let's see if I can get in there you go. It is visible when you kind of manipulate it really good, but otherwise, in a binder, this is a perfectly awesome card. Edges are nice and clean, no major dings or dents on this card. If you wanted to go grade this Meowth VMAX, yeah, it'd be a pretty good candidate for it, just because of how nice and clean that it is. I got some other cards. That's like this cute little Pikachu promo. Always super popular cards that we have. All the Pikachus. Awesome, cute card. You can kind of see little defects on the left there. That's kind of some scratches. On a near mint card, that is a thing that can happen. They come out of the package. You kind of see, actually I can get that shine back in that bottom right corner. Kind of like where there's a little flip. You kind of see where that's a little darker along the edge. Almost like where the dye maybe caught on the card or just didn't get a good clean cut. Things like that happen. This is still a near mint card. Kind of see some whitening on that edge there. Yeah, so kind of like my rule of thumb on this kind of stuff is you know, one minor thing on the front or on the back. So 2 total would be a near mint card. And then you kind of get closer to light play if you have some edge wear. The back of the Pokemon card is a great indicator of how much play a card has, especially with like older and mid aged cards that, you know, are a couple years old now. The back is very telling on how much that card was handled and how well it was cared for. I can tell right now this card has never been out of a sleeve, was never in a binder by itself, you know, rolling around or in a shoebox. Somebody that had this card took care of it. You know, it's a fairly new card. It's from last year, so it's not like it's super old to have gotten it in bad shape. But, yeah, just a really good card. Near mint. Little tiny issues on that are visible. But, again, a lot of that coming straight out of the package, out of the pack. Again, this Kartana GX, an older card, so it's kind of, you can see it's been in a binder. It's got a little bit of, you know, clouding is what we call it on the surface. Some more scratches. When you really, I'm super zoomed in, so obviously it looks way worse than what it would be in person. Again, this card has never been really played. It's just kind of been in a binder and then, you know, flipping through pages and stuff in a sleeve, rolling around. It gets that kind of really minor surface scratching is what we call that. So kind of just examples of what a near mint card would be. Remember, when you go to grade with PSA, they go all the way down to a 7. They consider near mint, right? So that's something to think about. And another thing, you know, especially with these GXs, that's things from Hidden Fates and stuff, centering from left to right, top to bottom, centering is not an indicator or addressed at all in near mint. Neither is the curvature of the card, whether or not it's straight. Sometimes old WotC or certain era of cards tend to have a curl to them if they're foiled. You can have a curled card and an off-centered card and still be near mint in the grading. Again, PSA takes it all the way down to a 7. And off-centering only counts for, I think, 1 or 2 points if it's really bad. So it's just, you know, something to think about. You know, I know that it's the highest grade that we have, so you want it in really good shape. But yeah, centering is not always going to be perfect on a near mint card. It's not an indication of the quality of the card, condition-wise. It's a factory defect. There's nothing that we can do. You know, that's not a sign that it was not cared for. It's just things that happen straight out of the package. So just something to think about when you buy near mint cards. If you get them and they're a little off center, unfortunately, that is how it is. Another awesome Pikachu promo. We're going to move to light played. LP is what they call it. Light played. If we get stuff that comes out of a binder or out of a collection, we expect it mostly to be this way. If it's not out of a pack and into our hands, we don't buy it at near mint. So things that come out of a binder. See how again, little light scratches across that hollow. Very minor stuff. You know, a little bit of silvering on that top left corner. See it up there. Again, just stuff that it wasn't, you know, abused or anything like that. Again, in this bottom corner here, a little silvering. A little bit of dirt on there. That can happen from just being on the top of a sleeve. Dirt can get in there and kind of gunk up your card there. But again, as an LP card, this is pretty good. LP stuff, I give you know, two things front and back. A major or minor incidence of whitening, so that's along this edge would be like 1, and up here that's 2. Hollow is really good. Otherwise, if it doesn't go through like the Pokemon, it's not shining through like the card back or something like that. That kind of like little light surface scratches are just indication of it's been sliding around in a sleeve. Nothing super scary about that. Like I said, most stuff, newer stuff in collections that we get are all going to be lightly played. Kind of see it along this top edge of this card. I'd consider that all one incident on the top. Some whitening on that corner. Otherwise, the sides look good. This is Xerneas. Awesome, beautiful card. Again, on the front, you're looking for edge chipping, things like that, where the color is coming off. Nothing on this card. Surface looks awesome, even still in the sleeve. So, let's keep rolling with this Blacksmith. I love these little cheap full arts that came out of these collection boxes. It's just so cool. I love them. He's got a little bit of pushes on this. That's very common with this era of cards. Kind of like some discoloration and color just coming off where it's textured on the bottom. It can happen. But still, maybe a little print defect there. Otherwise, a little bit of whitening on the bottom, right there in the center. Getting some scratching. But yeah, just little minor stuff that accumulates for being a light plate as opposed to a near mint. Again, awesome pieces if you want to just have in a binder or just even consider pretty good. Again, the top of these cards and sleeves are always going to be normally the most damaged, so on the tops there's going to be that kind of stuff, on the bottom a little bit more. But again, the edges should be always good on these. The edges being clean just means that they were in a sleeve, so normally good cared for cards. Cards that look good otherwise, if you are really scrutinous about it. This card's really missed off center. Look how the top border and bottom border is really bad. But again, light played, it's still a beautiful card. Again, if you have this in a binder, you wouldn't know it from a near mint card. And again, the back is always the most telling and gives the most obvious signs of wear, but the fronts on lightly played cards should always be really nice and clean. Alright, we're moving down. Let's go down to moderate. Moderate stuff is kind of like the catch-all for a lot of cards that we get out of collections, typically older collections too. They're just going to have stuff from, again, sliding around in binders and stuff. Maybe some edges that are really dinged up in bad shape. Again, this card on the bottom. See how extreme that edge wear is? You can tell that was some sort of rubbing or something that happened to that card to cause that over time. Again, that kind of edging, that just a lot of more white showing around the edges for moderately played cards. They can still be really good on the front in a binder. Again, moderately played. If you just want a binder collection, moderately played cards are typically, if they're newer, good options. They really aren't bad options if you want to just put this Marshadow because you need one for your collection. The front looks awesome on this card. It's really just the back is where we're so scrutinizing about. And this is common of Sun and Moon era full arts too. Just that texturing kind of makes the edges really jagged. Look how jagged this edge along this side looks. But again, that's out of the pack. That's how this card comes. Little stuff down here, which is probably takes it down from a light to a moderate, just because those are more extreme signs of damage. So, but again, on the front of this card, very good looking card. Very good option for a binder. So if if you're building past sets and you just want a binder collection, you don't care about it like being super pristine, buy moderate cards. Moderate cards are still normally very good. This guy's moderate just because he's got that one little extreme incident right there. That's some heavy damage, but otherwise this card is really good. Another one down there, but for moderate, again, put that in a binder. Look, it's even the hollow on it is really good. That whiter, clear looking background. It's not as busy. Can really show scratches really bad. But that one was really good. That guy has see a little dent in that card. Again, it's not a crease, not a fold. It's just something that pressed up on that card and made that dent. Again, this card is otherwise really good, but like really good. It's just that really dent just can take it all the way down to a moderate. And if you're putting that in a sleeve in a binder, looks normal to me, But we just don't like charging the full prices for them. Yeah. Binder stuff, moderate played is normally good. Alright, let's move on to heavy played. Heavy played stuff can, normally heavy played stuff is really visible right off the bat that the card has some issues. This is actually a really clean Kangaskhan on the front. You see some silvering that's really common along the edges on older WotC stuff, in certain lights, again, where it's sliding around in a binder, with the pages getting flipped. it's going to get that edging. This guy's got a whole lot, pretty much every corner on this card has whitening. So that kind of puts him in the heavy category as opposed to moderate. I'm trying to see if there's any other heavier stuff that gives it a heavy rating. Moderate and heavy is kind of like a weird place. These guys have like a little push right there that you kind of can tell in certain lights. It's just interesting. But yeah, heavy stuff, it just is more of extreme, moderate, obviously, but just the type of issues. Moderate should not have any creases. Heavy can have creases, minor creases that don't go all the way through the card. Like this little Flareon has a dog ear, what you call kind of like a flip right there. Otherwise, that's probably what is putting this guy, just because it's a major incident through the card. But if you, kind of a good way to tell is if a crease, if you can feel it through a sleeve, whether or not it's a big deal or not. If you can't, it's going to be a heavy played card. If you can feel a crease, and like a wrinkle when you run your finger across it, that's a sign of it being a damaged card at that point. Again, this surface, really bad surface damage to it, but structurally heavy played cards should be, still be able to be played in a sleeve. And again, that's an indicator of whether or not you can feel the damage through a sleeve or not. If you run your finger across it, if you can feel a card, it has to do with marked cards too. When you go down to sit and play a game. Kind of a full art Mewtwo. Again, pretty good on the front. We'll flip it up because the back always tells. Yep, heavy stuff on the top. Surface again just has that kind of like cloudy spots. This is really good heavy. There's some other examples of kind of like more extreme heavies. Let's see what I got. Let's go to this Gladion. Kind of see that little flip on the top. Again, not going to be all the way through the card or something that you can. It's going to make it curved or stick out weird in your binder. But definitely, just along the edges where you can kind of just see, it's this is probably a card that was in somebody's collection and just maybe not even in the sleeve, just kind of just sat there in a shoebox or wherever they had them. Just kind of give you an idea of what heavy looks like. Then let's move to damaged. Damaged stuff is things that have obvious like flaws to them. Creases that go all the way through the sides of the card, like this guy on the very bottom. Otherwise, pretty good card, edgewise. See that little crease there, and you can kind of feel it. You can feel it make a little divot when you run your finger across it. It's on both sides, so that's what puts this guy into the heavy realm. Edges are always, pretty heavy. The surface is going to be cloudy if it has a hollow. Let me see if I have a hollow in here that kind of can give you that kind of example. And kind of a little bend that it's not moderate enough to be, considered a heavy card. Kind of another one down there. Yeah, all the way through this card, actually. So that's damage stuff. This Mew. A couple creases, Again, it's probably was in a shoebox, just kind of rubber banded to some other stuff. You see the edges of that. Just, if you flipped your thumb over that, you'd be able to feel the layers of the card. That is pretty typical of damaged cards. Just super worn down. Just, rubbed around a lot. Let's see if I got a modern card that I can show you that's damaged. This Mewtwo GX. Another Mewtwo GX. Again, I just had a bunch of these that hadn't been processed or been sitting in our process box. So, again, like in a binder, like even as damaged, he's not terrible. He does have like a little flip right there. But yeah, on the back, kind of again tells the story of how much this card has been handled and damaged. So there's a lot of surface stuff. Obviously, that is like a heavy crease. Of course, now that you see it on the back, you kind of see it on the front. But again, at arm's length on a table, that's not a bad looking card. If you just want Damaged stuff has a lot of good use and purpose. It's not really worth just throwing away or not trying to sell. A lot of people buy, super expensive, cards that are a couple $100s. They'll buy a damaged version of it for like $50, just have a placeholder or something like that in a binder that, until they can get around to upgrading it, or maybe they want to focus on something else. For now, that's going to be a good enough copy for them to not have to worry about going out and running out and replacing it. So, just kind of, like I said, give you some ideas of what to expect when you see these kind of grades on a website or things. Kind of the issues that we look for, and kind of like put a quantification on what it means when something is heavy or damaged. What kind of puts that over the edge from the next stuff. But yeah, again, kind of give you an idea of what all this grading stuff and conditioning. It's not grading, it's conditioning of cards. If you're ever looking through a website and you're like, man, I really don't know what heavy means. Well, now you do. You kind of have an idea of what to expect when you are looking for cards online. So, if you are a binder collector, don't be scared of moderately played stuff, especially if it's new. Again, it could be just a little minor issue that you wouldn't otherwise be able to tell or see or really even care about, and it's fine to stick in a binder. So save yourself some money and go for moderate and heavy cards if you just want to fill out and get all the full arts or stuff from Sun and Moon, or the Sword and Shield sets. Go ahead and get the heavy and moderate stuff. Most of the time, for newer stuff, it's going to be okay. But yeah, guys, just wanted to throw that out there, kind of give you guys a heads up of what to look for, what we're looking for when we grade cards and condition cards. So if you have any questions, write them down below. I'm happy to answer them. Give you guys more insight on, again, what we look for. But hopefully that was a pretty good rundown and kind of long video. But again, it's important because, a lot of buying and selling online right now. So I want your expectations to be, reasonable and on what to expect. And, I got stuff to take to my employees and say, hey, this is what we're looking for, when I teach them how to grade and stuff like that. So it's important to have quantifiable things that you're looking for whenever you go and put something in a grade like this. So again, thanks you guys for watching. If you made it this far, I love you. You're a trooper. I appreciate you. And again, like, subscribe, comment, guys. What's the worst card you have in your collection? What's the most damaged or messed up card that you still have that's in your collection and you just think it's cool, so you still have it? I'll put that, make a comment down below and let me know. But again, thanks guys. I'll catch you in the next one, huh? You guys have a good day. Goodbye.